y'all, welcome to Criminally Creative, a channel about my various creative endeavors. Today is Saturday, March 19th. This is episode 29. If you are a first-time viewer, I appreciate you checking me out. If you are a returning viewer, I appreciate you coming back. You're getting the messy view of the craft room again this week because it's still a mess. And I apologize. I noticed in the last video there were little pieces of fiber floating around through the video. That's just an example of all the stuff that's in here. I have knitting projects around me and all stuff, and it's just fluff floating around. So sorry if that was distracting to some of you. Anyway, it's only been 3 weeks since my last recording, which is pretty good for me. So I thought I'd jump in and let you know what I've been working on and what my plans are for the future. So anyway, let's see. I'm Susan. If you're new, you can find me on Ravelry as Legal Eagle and on Instagram as Criminally Creative Podcast. This is primarily a show or channel about knitting and cross stitching, but there's also sometimes crochet and other crafts, sewing, spinning, weaving, whatever I feel like doing, thrown in there. So anyway, why don't we get into Hearsay? Not a lot of different things going on since I last saw you, but the big thing that has happened since I last saw you is Carolina Fiber Fest was held last weekend at the NC State Fairgrounds in the Expo Center. It was our first in-person event since 2019. In 2020, we actually were all set up on Thursday, and at around 5 o'clock, the governor closed the state, obviously because of the pandemic. And we had to tell all of our vendors to pack up and go home. So anyway, this was our first in-person event since 2019. It was also our first time in the larger building. We were supposed to be in the larger building in 2020 and were set up in the larger building, but obviously did not get to hold the event in the larger building. So there was a little bit of a learning curve. We were figuring out, some new ways to do things, and there may be some things that get changed. I'm actually going to be rolling off of that board now, so I will not be a part of the behind-the-scenes planning crew for next year. But they've got a good team, and I'm sure we'll put on a great event. And I'm sure that I will still volunteer in person at the event next year. I've just, with things going on at work and life changes, I don't have the time to do the behind-the-scenes right now. So anyway, but that was held last weekend. And so Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, all day, I was at the Expo Center at the NC State Fairgrounds. My feet and my knees were killing me by Sunday. I did manage to find some time to do some shopping. I am not, when I get to Stashing for Retirement, I'm actually not going to show you all the yarn that I bought. But if you're interested in that, if you go to Ravelry, I have all of my stash in Ravelry. So again, I'm Legal Eagle on Ravelry, and you can go and see pretty much everything that's most recently added to my stash. Well, with the exception of the cotton I bought at Bella Filati Thursday. But most of that you can see because I tag everything as where I bought it. So you'll see that it's Carolina Fiber Fest yarn. You can see all the beautiful yarn that I did buy. And hopefully you will see some of that in the not too distant future in some projects that get cast on. So anyway, that really is the bulk of what has happened since then, other than just work. Work has been somewhat quiet. I had a couple of meetings this week that were oversight meetings, one of which was in Lumberton rather than Raleigh, which is where my office is. So that's really about it. Anyway, so let me just get on to the crafting. So first is verdicts, which is what I call my finished objects. And all of these are knit verdicts this time. I will show you first. Oops, I forgot. Yeah. I reached for a sock blocker, and I started knocking stuff off the table behind me. I just did our taxes today, which was joyous, let me tell you. I've got to figure out our W-4 because with the changes in deductions and stuff we have owed the last couple of years, which I would rather owe than get a refund personally, because to me a refund means I've given the government an interest-free loan for a year. But I would like to get us a little closer to 0 than we are. But anyway, so the first verdict is my February Desert Vista Dye Works socks. And I do have 2 of these, but since I just about knocked everything over getting 1 sock blocker, I'm only going to show you 1 at the moment. This is Desert Vista Dye Works in the Witches of Eastwick colorway. I knit all my socks toe up with Fish Lips Kiss Heel on a US 0, which is a 2mm needle. And I do mine 2 at a time on 2 circulars. So y'all saw these, I think I was through the heel and up the leg, partially done with the leg when I showed them to you at the end of February. But those are done. I am not going to put that up right now because I'll probably knock things over again. So, and then I showed you last time the foolproof cowl that I had made out of handspun, and that I had a bunch of handspun left over. And I think I may have shown you this as a whip. This is the Langfield hat, which is a pattern by Martina Bam. It is a very unique construction hat where you start knitting like what's like the beginning of a triangle shawl, and then you do short rows and end up with a 3-needle bind off up at the top. I made this hat a little deeper than I needed to. My intent was to make it so that it could be folded up and still cover the ears, but I obviously went just a little bit too far. But that's okay. It's just extra warmth around the ears to get it. I'm not a slouchy hat person. I like my hats. The ends are woven in, but I haven't washed this yet, so I wait and trim my ends after I block things. Anyway, that will give me extra warmth around the ears. It'll be a good warm hat. And I mean, you could do it slouchier if you wanted to. I'm not a slouchy hat person. Anyway, so now that matches the foolproof cowl that I showed you last time, and I am now going to, I still have more yarn left, so I am going to cast on some gloves. And I looked this pattern up last time, and I put it on, let me look real quick. My computer's right here. I put it on the screen last time, and I still can't remember what it's called. I think it's Tracy's Magic Gloves. It's a friend of mine, Tracy, has done a pattern that are garter stitch gloves, and apparently she created a new cast on that she confirmed with whoever you confirm these things with. Maybe, I don't know if it's the Embroiderers Guild or, no, not the Embroiderers Guild, the Knitting, whatever, the TG, whatever. I can't remember the name of the organization. But she confirmed it with the people that confirm these things, that it was a brand new cast on. And so I'm going to give those a try. It's called, yes, the pattern's called Tracy's Magic Gloves. So anyway, I have enough yarn left that I'm going to try those so that I will have like a full matching set. And then the last verdict that I have is I finished the Bounce baby blanket that I was working on. And again, I have not blocked this yet, so it still has all the ends. They're woven in, but they're still hanging because I'm going to wash this tomorrow when I do laundry. This is out of Universal Yarn Cotton Supreme. In, I can't remember all the colors, but technical names, but it's like turquoise, lime, magenta, purple, and I think the gray is called Sliver or something like that. This is the Bounce Blanket by Tin Can Knits. I knit that on a US 7 4.5 millimeter needle, and I forgot to say the Langfield hat I knit on a US 4 3.5 millimeter needle. So that's all my verdicts. We'll get to quarters in session. We'll start with a couple of knit projects. I have started my March Desert Vista Dye Works socks. Usually I try to have my heels turned by around the 15th. It's the 19th, and I haven't turned my heels yet, but I have just gotten, I'm just about to where I can turn my heels. I am using, this month's colorway is called St. Lawrence. And this was from a couple years ago. The color, I can't remember what the theme was that year. But anyway, I thought this was a nice combination of green for St. Patrick's Day and then some springy colors. And I'm almost ready to turn the heels on those. I think I have like 2 or 3 more rows to do before it's heel turning time. And since it is 31 days this month, I will get those heels turned this weekend. And that'll give me still a little over a week to do the legs and the cuff, which should be fine. So this is in a Jambi Smiley bag. And then the only other knit project I'm going to show you, I did do a little work on my Hohi Locatelli shawl, but it doesn't look much different because it really was like maybe 20 rows, so I'm not going to show you that. But my knit temperature project, which is the High-Low Temperature Cowl by Victoria Myers. I'm knitting this on US 4 3.5 millimeter needles, and the yarn I'm using is the Fiber Studio at Yarns to Die For Advent calendar colors from 2020. So for this, you knit, it's a corrugated rib pattern, and the knit stitches are the high temperature for the day. The purl stitches are the low temperature for day. So this is through last Saturday, the 12th, I think. Yeah, through Saturday, March 12th. So as you can see, a lot of the purl stitches are either the cream or the gray, because we had actually kind of a lot of lows. And as I said last time, when both the high and the low are below 35, which is my low temperature range, I've added in kind of a darker color to be the low for that, to kind of indicate that, just so it's not the same color. And we'll see. I got to add a little bit of some 80s in there. That hot pink is some 80s. We had some high temperatures in the 80s. So anyway, so that's, like I said, about mid-March. I'm still a little concerned that this is not going to end up being long enough, as long as I would like it. But I think it will be long enough, because this is one where you knit in the round and at the end you graft the two ends together. So if that's like 2.5 months, yeah. Anyway, it'll be long enough to wear. It's probably not going to be as long as I prefer them to be, but it's okay. I like the pattern, and maybe if I do this pattern again, I will do it in a different weight of yarn, maybe a worsted weight, so I can do it on a, or maybe I'll just do fingering and add a few more stitches. Well, that wouldn't make it longer. I'd have to do a heavier weight yarn, but anyway. So that is all my knitting cordons in session at the moment. Let's get to the cross stitch cordons in session. I have worked on several projects since I last talked to you. I'll show you first my temperature cross stitch project. This is Temperature Bookshelf by Christie's Corner, and this is on a 36 count fabric from Jody from Steel City Stitchers. So this is through, again, March 12th. And I got the, I think I got that rose done on the February shelf when I finished that. And I finished the rainbow and the pot of gold. So again, there's some areas where the temperature, like you can see here, the temperature, this is just high temps. The high temp was in the same range both days. Eventually, I will go back, probably before I move the Q-stop. I don't know. I haven't decided when. And do either some light back stitching or something between those books to kind of indicate, you know, to distinguish between two books. My current thought is to back stitch with a little bit darker thread between the books, just enough to... Okay, sorry if there's a little bit of a jinky connection there. My husband ignored my on-air sign that he gave me so he would know when I was recording, and opened the door. But he had a couple of friends that had come back with him from the little local brewery that wanted to say hello, so I had to go out and say hello to them. But anyway, I think I was about done with the temperature bookshelf. I was just saying that eventually I will do some kind of back stitching or something between the books that the high temp was in the same range that day, just so you can see that there's two books there. So anyway, next was my first Whip Go call. Sorry, things are falling over down here. For March was Happily Ever After, which is from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I will put a picture here of what it will look like when it's finished. And I will also put a picture of what it looked like before I started this time. And this was a March Whip Go call, but it also was pulled on my wheel that I use to pick my other 2 projects for each month. So both week, this is going to get 2 weeks this month. It's already gotten a week. It's going to get this next week. So my Whip Go goal for the year was 25%, which I should finish in this next week so that my Whip Go goal will actually be done for the year. So this is where I am. You can't really, I'm not going to take it off the Q-Snap. When you last saw it, I think had just finished this. So I've done this whole ever after in that one and started down here. I'm sorry, I didn't think since I'm going to work on it again this week, I didn't think to take it off the Q-Snap so you could see what all I'd done. But this was the 2017 stitch along for the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, which I started in January 2017 and promptly did not keep up with. It is on 14 count Aida from Picture This Plus and the Helix. It's a sparkly Aida. What do they call that? I have it crystal Aida. I don't know if you can see the sparkle a little bit. Anyway, so that will get some more work this week, and hopefully I will meet my Whip Go goal on that for the year. My other Whip Go call for March was Dragonfly 3, which is a pattern from Little Leaf Designs. This is a little kit that a friend of mine gave me a couple years ago for my birthday. It's not a lot of cross stitch, it's actually a lot of satin stitch, which is something I've never done a lot of. So and then this dragonfly in the middle is actually a charm that I have that will hang there. I have done a week. I did a week on this already. And I have actually got it almost finished. There's not really a top and bottom to this yet. So I have done everything except these yellow flowers around, and there's beads at the center of those yellow flowers. So I need to do those and do the beads and do the charm, which I think I can finish in just a couple of days. So since March is kind of almost 5 weeks, my plan for the year is I've got kind of like a 4-week plan for each month where each Whip Go project gets a week, and then 2 other projects are drawn from my wheel. So since we've kind of got a 5th week this month, and there still will be 4 full weeks in February, after this next week, so the week of the 28th through the 1st of April, my plan is to go back to this Dragonfly and get it finished for the year, which will free up a drawing on my wheel for something else that I've started, because I've started several things this year. And then I will probably just kind of squee-wee and stitch whatever else I want to work on that week. If I haven't gotten to my goal on Happily Ever After, I will probably finish that. But if not, I may work on some other projects. One of which I started last night, my small for the StitchCon Smalls Exchange, which I'm not going to show you. I think I'm going to keep it a secret until after StitchCon, which I'll show you pictures. So I may work on that some that week too. Anyway, the other thing that was drawn on my wheel this month, was the Cryptid Stitch Along from the Witchy Stitcher. I will post a picture here of what the finished object looks like, because all of the clues have been released now. This started last fall, and I just haven't kept up with it, which I didn't intend to keep up with it. So I'll post a picture of what the finished one, if you do it exactly as she designed it. She did give some options, and some people did some really neat creative things with it. But as she designed it, I'll post a picture of that. And I will also post a picture of where it was the last time I showed it to you, which I think was just as it was at the beginning of the year in my Whip Parade. And this has been my focus project this week. And so I finished, the last time I had done Mothman, I had done the frame for the night crawlers, but had just barely started. I finished that, and then I did the Bigfoot. And I've also done more up here. That is straight on the fabric. It's just the fabric is not straight in the Q-Snap right now. So that will actually be straight across in reality. My goal for this for the year is 6 of the cryptids. And obviously, I count this as one, even though it was already partway done. So I didn't get to a third one this week. So that leaves 4 left for the year, which means I will need to add probably some more work on this other than just whatever week it's called. So I may work on this one a little bit more too, the 5th week of this month, just depending on what I feel like doing. So that's why I haven't taken out of the Q-snap yet. And then the last thing I want to show you is a new start. I showed you this last time as part of Stashing for Retirement, which was the Cardinal Points sampler pattern by Julia Line from Long Dog Samplers. This is a chart that was done for, I think it was done for General Arts and is charted all in General Arts threads. I'm doing this on 36 count white. It's Weigart, which reminds me, I didn't tell you on the Cryptid, I'm doing that on 40 count Fortnite Fabrics I Tried, which was one of their shades of gray from last year. Any details about any of the cross stitch projects that I don't mention are in my spreadsheet that is linked below. But anyway, this is Cardinal Points. I'm doing it on, I think I said 36 count. Yeah, 36 count white Zweigart with all of the called for General Arts threads. And this is where I am. So I have just done that top corner dragonfly and started around the side. I just love the colors in this one. Just the bright, I'm a bright color person. So now that I've got, I mean, it's all brights and not a ton of variegated threads. They're all General Arts, but there's not, none of them are, there's only one that I would call truly variegated. No, 2 that I would call truly variegated. The Highland Heather is mostly pink, but definitely has some purple. And the, not that one, where is it? Tiger Lily is yellow and green. But all the rest of them are more tonal than variegated. So anyway, that's going to be really pretty. And I have that on the Q-snap because I've been, that one also may get some more work in the 5th week of March. We'll see. The 5th week of March is just kind of going to, I think I'm going to try to get that dragonfly done first. Well, actually, I will get if I don't get to 25% happily ever after, I will get that done first, since that is the 2 weeks this month are the only 2 weeks that's planned to be worked on. So I think I got like 15% done in the week that I did it. So I just got to get another 10%. So I think I can do it in this week, but we'll see. Anyway, Happily Ever After and Dragonfly will be the first things to work on the 5th week of the month. And then I will work on whatever else I feel like working on. So that's really all that I've worked on, because it's only been 3 weeks instead of like 3 months like normally. So let's move on to Stashing for Retirement. I'm going to pause real quick so I can get everything closer, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, Stashing for Retirement. Like I said earlier, I did buy some yarn at Carolina Fiber Fest, and also I stopped at Bella Filati on Thursday and bought some more cotton for another baby blanket. But the stuff that I bought yarn-wise is all on my stash on Ravelry. So if you're interested in seeing what I bought there, please check that out. If you have any questions, I'm happy to try to answer them. Leave a comment, shoot me an email, criminallycreative@gmail.com, or you can message me on Ravelry or DM me on Instagram. Anyway, so the first thing I'm going to show you is actually not my craft related, but it's handcrafted, and I just wanted to show you because I love it. So this is like a traveler's notebook cover from Alt Guild. This is leather, and the one I got, this is I have another one of these. So let me reach down below. I have one of his that is made to look like the TARDIS, kind of, from Doctor Who, that I use for several things. You put notebooks in them. They have strings inside. And he recently moved from Etsy to his own website and had a coupon code, and it was a little bit better coupon code for those of us who had purchased before. So I decided to go ahead and get another one. Not really sure what I'm using this one for yet, but I will figure it out. It's Alice in Wonderland themed. You could have a name put on here. I don't really like, I'm not a, what is the word I'm looking for? What is it when you put your initials on it? There's a word for it. It won't come to me. Anyway, I don't like to monogram. I'm not a big monogram person or putting my name on stuff. So instead, I put, "We are all mad here," which is a quote from Alice in Wonderland. And you can see it's got Alice. And then the back has Alice getting ready to drink the potion, and the quote that says, "Why sometimes I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast." This quote he had on the design already, where I put this quote here where he would put like your last name or your name or what. This was a customized, and because that was a short enough quote, he was able to fit that in there. So, and it's got, made to look like a book, and I get the 2 strands, because you can put about, I put about 4 books on there. And then you have the strand that goes over that. They are customizable. You can choose how many strands you have inside and how many strands you have on outside. And he will even put like a pin. He'll put a pin loop on there. I prefer not to have that on there. So anyway, I just wanted to show that because I really like it's handcrafted and it's really pretty. And that is Alt Guild. I think his website is altguild.com. I will put a link below to that. So anyway, so the Stitchy Crafty haul, other than the yarn that I bought at Fiberfest, a couple of my clubs arrived. I got the Color and Cotton March thread. I get the 5 skein. So very springy colors. Trying to figure out, I got too much light over here. There we go. Maybe that's better. Those last 2 are kind of a light green and then more of a yellow. Hopefully you can see that. And then I got my Forbidden Fiber Co. floss of the month. This you get 10 of her regular colorways and 2 one-of-a-kinds. And one-of-a-kinds this time were alfalfa and I thought I had them up front, but apparently not. Moss. And then we got Oceanside, Confession, Loquacious, Ash, Buttermint, Seaside Sprite, Umber, Goldfinch, Cupid, and Concord. So got those. I got my Bestitch Me for, I think this was the February Bestitch Me. It's called Life's a Peach. I'm not going to open it, but it's a very pinky, orangey pink colorway. Hopefully there's not so much glare that you can't really see the color of it. And then my Rogue Stitching for February. I get both the fabric and the floss for this. The fabric is, and most of the fabrics I get in clubs are 36 count. Bestitch Me was 36 count. This fabric was from Atomic Ranch Fabrics, and it's lavender. And then the floss this month was supposed to be something else, but I can't remember what it was, but they had to switch for some reason, and I'll swap what months. And so instead we got CXC floss, which is a cotton floss with, I think, the same numbering as DMC, and supposed to be similar, uses the same numbering convention. So I assume that means the colors are the same. I've never used the CXC floss, and I haven't actually opened this yet, but I'll try it on something. We'll see. So I got that. Let's see. What else did I get? Before I get, the last thing I'm going to do is the Nashville haul. Because I did do some Nashville pre-orders, and then I actually ordered a couple other things that I saw from Maple's Floss Tubes after Nashville. I got my February Just Keep Looping box. I have not actually made the pot holders yet because I just haven't had time with Fiberfest. I'll just show you, this comes in a nice box. I'm not going to do like a full unboxing, but, and you get a paper. It's got folded. And so these are not really my colors, but I'll make the pot holders and I'll give them to somebody. So these are the 4 patterns for this month. As you can see, the theme this month is in like a lion, out like a lamb. So they're very yellows and blacks and very kind of lionish colors. And so sorry for the crinkle. Just trying to get to where I can show you all the loops are in the box there. And in addition to these cards that they send you the patterns, they also send you the patterns digitally. So you can, you know, if you don't, I bought the little box to keep the cards, but you can store the patterns digitally as well if you like. I also got, I had pre-ordered the Starlight Stitchery Edgar Allan Poe box. And again, I'm not going to do a full unboxing. So this is what it looked like. Yeah, I don't have time, y'all, to do like full unboxing videos, so I'll just do quick rush through. You got a little notebook with the raven on it. You got the list of stuff. Hand-dyed fabric from the Starlight Stitchery, which is, I think that's a fat 8th. Yeah, that's fat 8th. That is, let's see what they call that colorway. The blank page is what they call that. Just kind of a nice neutral. Got a couple of hand-dyed flosses from the Starlight Stitchery in Mask of the Red Death, Descent into the Maelstrom, and the Raven. Very Poe-ish colorways. A couple of stickers. Some loose tea. Some soy wax melts that smell real good. They're Graveyard is the name of the scent, but they smell good. A little Edgar Allan Poe voodoo doll. And then some, it's probably hard to see, but they're floss drops that are cut out like ravens, and a little charm, little rest in peace gravestone charm that says Nevermore on the back. So you got all that. Sorry, let me toss that back in here just to clear this clutter up some. And then we also got 4 patterns. Apparently one of these was supposed to be designed by somebody else, but they were not able to do it. So there's 2 from the Witchy Stitcher, and I'm not sure. I'm guessing this was the one that was planned for the Witchy Stitcher, because this one I think uses the floss that they give you, the Master of the Macabre, from the Witchy Stitcher. Cobweb and Rose is the designer. Formerly That Chick Made It. Did a House of Usher. Tusk and Cardinal did Annabelle Lee. And then, oh, there's more than 4. The Witchy Stitcher did, what is this one called? Just called the Raven, Poe the Raven. And it says, Leave My Loneliness Unbroken. And then there's one from Foxglove and Crow, which is called A Toast for Edgar, which has some of the books. And so I'm not sure. I'm don't know that I will do all of those patterns, but at least the 2 witchy stitchers for sure are possibilities. I also like the Toast for Edgar. I like the other 2. It's just with all the stuff that I have, I don't know that I will get to all of them. So anyway, there's that. Let's see. And then when I was at Bella Filati Thursday and bought yarn, I also bought this cute little felt craft kit of a little mouse family, which I just thought was adorable. They had, you know, like ones done there, and they were just as cute as they could be. So this is sewing. I think it's just, you've got the, I haven't even opened it yet, but I think you've got the little pieces of felt in there that you cut into shape and stitch and stuff. So, and then, sorry for leaning down out of view, twinkling. Trying to get stuff out of my bag here. I did some market pre-orders, and then, like I said, a couple of things that I saw actually after the fact that I ordered. So I did most of my market pre-order I did from Fire Poppies, which is in Summerville, South Carolina, and they're not local to me, but they're one of the closest ones to me, and they just have super fast shipping. So I pre-ordered most of this. One of these is a Blackbird, which is, you may know, Blackbird doesn't do sneak peeks at their stuff. So while they were in Nashville, I saw, once Blackbird showed, I then put in another pre-order so that they would pick me one up and ship that when they got back. So here's what I got from Fire Poppies. I got Liberty Games from Erica Michaels. I'm currently working on Reindeer Games, and I really love crossword puzzles. I really like this one. So I actually also went ahead and got all the floss to go with that one. One of the things I really do like about Fire Poppies and their pre-orders is if they have the information, they will put the floss list on the pre-order so that if you want to order the floss when you order the pattern, you can. And they do that on most of their patterns, even if they're not pre-orders. I got the Blackbird Designs of Heart Remembers. This is the one that I saw, you know, National Weekend, and dropped another pre-order so they could get one for me. Blackbird is a hit or miss for me. I'm not one of those people that's die-hard Blackbird, everything gotta have it. But this is a definite for me. I really do like this one. This one is probably my favorite new release from Nashville, and it's just because it kind of combines several of my crafts. And it's from Silver Creek Sampers, called Fred's Unifying Question: Will you be my neighbor? And I, you know, of course, I'm of the generation that grew up watching Mr. Rogers. And so that sheep, because of, you know, the fact that I knit and spin and all that, that sheep in that red sweater and the wool you, that just is adorable. So I will definitely do that. I bought the hand-dyed flosses that need to go with that. Most of it, it's largely DMC and just a couple of hand-dyed flosses. Puntini, When I Think of Stitching. I just thought that was really cute. Praiseworthy Stitches, A Snowman's Christmas. I really like a lot of Praiseworthy Stitches patterns. I've got one of her Christmas ones kitted up. I just haven't started it, and I own a couple more of them, so that one was really pretty. Jeanette Douglas, Matter in Hand. That is, I think it says cross stitches. Yeah, the word is cross stitch. It says cross stitch in a bunch of different languages. So, Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. Couldn't think of her last name. It doesn't even say it on the front of on the outside of the book anywhere. And actually, I may open this one so I can show you in case you haven't seen it. I ordered the couple of fancy flosses that go with it because it's mostly charted in DMC, I think. The big picture is the one I loved so much about this. That's the one that I really loved. And it's something about, I'm not a big sampler person, but this one only has the one little alphabet at the bottom because I just don't like a ton of alphabets. But I love the colors and the, I don't know, just the historic feel of that one. I don't know what it is. So, like I said, I'm not a big sample person, but every once in a while I see one that just really calls to me. And this was one of them. This also has several other. It has this pattern, which I like the pattern. I'm not a real big fan of what the quote on it, which says, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. I don't know, that smacks a little bit of telling a woman that her place is in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant to me. So I'm probably not gonna, if I do this one, I probably won't do that quote. And this little one that says, you'll never know, dear, how much I love you. And I feel like there might be one more in here, but maybe not. No, that was it. So anyway, and again, like I said, I got the two Weeks Dye Works flosses that are called for that big one. The rest of it is DMC. So that was my Fire Poppies pre-order. And then I also, because, you know, not every shop carries every designer's patterns or does pre-orders for every designer's pattern. So Top Knot Stitcher had a few that I did not see on Fire Poppies. And then I think one of these I saw on Fire Poppies, but I had waffled on, and when I was on Top Knot Stitcher ordering a couple others, I finally caved and bought it. So from Top Knot Stitcher, this is the one I had been waffling on Fire Poppy's website. Hands-on Design Resting Stitch Face. I have her Resting Beach Face, which I meant to start last year at the beach and didn't, but I just thought that was really cute. Sea to Shining Sea by Pickle Barrel Designs. And that's just got lines from America the Beautiful, the song. Welcome Summer by, I think it's Rami's Creations is her design name. And this just has a flamingo on it. I have a good friend that really loves flamingos. Also, my brother-in-law really loves flamingos, so I may make this for one of them. I don't know yet. I just thought it was cute. This was a, I think this was a Nashville exclusive, in that it's not going to be, I can't remember. This is Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I'm not sure. My sister really likes bees, so that might be for her, but I don't know. I might make it for me. It has a smaller chart, but there's not a picture in here other than the chart of it that just says, welcome to our hive. So, and then I think this is the last one from Top Knot. I got all four of the Sue Hillis Designs North Pole Chamber of Commerce. That's all of them put together. So you got North Pole Chamber of Commerce. You've got Mrs. Claus Enterprises. And these all have a couple little, well, they don't really have smalls. They have, you can pull out parts of them. The Sweet Shop and Toy Emporium, which is really almost like 2 levels. And then the Reindeer Flying Academy. So I will probably do this eventually all as the one big thing. But I mean, like I said, it's cute. You can see how, like, they did as an example, just the burr on a paddle from this one instead of doing the whole thing. So, and those were, I think I said that's Sue Hillis Designs. And then I, in watching floss tubes and stuff after Nashville, I saw a couple that I had not seen ahead of time. So I ordered these from Pam at Stitch New England. She also has a podcast, which is Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. I got the pins from Just Another Bunting Company for the Hands-on Design 4th block. I did not get the pattern because I really don't care about the block, but I love these pins and I thought they were so cute. If I ever get around to finishing my the one I did earlier last year, that I can't remember the name of. That was kind of a patriotic one. I might stick them in that because I plan to finish that as like a pillow, or so I'll find somewhere to put them. I just really like these pens, and my understanding is this eagle one in particular was made particularly for this pen pack. So I like I said, my rivalry name is Legal Eagle, so I kind of like eagles. Anyway, so I got that. Excuse me. And then from them, from Pam, I also ordered Plum Street Samplers, God Bless America. I actually saw this one in the pre-releases and couldn't decide and wavered on it. But when I decided to order this next one, and Pam had this God Bless America in stock, I went ahead and got it from it's Plum Street Sampler, and again, the Big Eagle. So, and this one, I did not see it all before Nashville, but I just love, and it's really the colors of it, I think, and it's something about the whole antique feel of it, but it's Rosewood Manor, a Tisket, a Tasket. And I need to order floss for this and fabric because I think this one is going to get started. I'm trying to decide. I'll talk about plans about May. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do for May Mayhem, but that might be one of them. And then something else I forgot to show you. This was part of my club. I do the Just Another Button Company Quarterly Club. So I got my March ones, which was kind of a spring bee themed. Has a little bee skep with a bee. A flower. Let's see, what else do we got in here? These come, they have 3 or 4 little themed buttons. There's a little bee. It's hard to show it there. Let's see. And another little flower. Smaller bee. And then some, you can kind of see the colors, very pastel-y colors and stuff to go with it. So I got that. And then a couple other little things I wanted to show you. I got this at Carolina Fiber Fest, and it's not yarn. I did want to show you too because it was so cute. I got this from Cardinal Woodwork, which is a woodworker out of the Charlotte, North Carolina area. And it's a little needle case. You see it says needles. It's got a little hedgehog on it. And I've got needles in here, so I don't want to dump them out. It slides open. Get my hands on the needles. And you got just a little, it's just a little recessed tray to put needles and stuff in. So I put some of my spare cross-stitch needles in there, and that's going to go in my little cross-stitch kit. And then, if you watch Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, you've seen the tiny trash can. I had to have a tiny trash can. So, mine doesn't pop all the way open without a little help, but it works just fine. So anyway, I have been using my tiny trash can for my orts while I sit here stitching. And it's just, I had to have one. So anyway, that is all of my stashing for retirement plans. Like I said, there's 5th week in March, so I'm just going to do a little bit of sweet-wee. I'm trying to decide exactly what I'm going to do for May Mayhem. I'm leaning towards doing what I did last year, which is a new start every weekend, every Saturday approximately, which would be, I think, 5 new starts in May. And if I do that, a Tisket, a Tasket is probably definitely going to be one of them. Let Love Rain may be one of them. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about, I'm also thinking about starting the Praiseworthy Stitches Christmas one that I have kitted up. I've got several things kitted up that I really need. I really need to start instead of kitting up new stuff. But we'll see. So I'm just, and also, I also probably should start something that's not so huge that I could actually finish in some reasonable amount of time. I am close to finishing that Dragonfly, which will get 1 whip off. I'm currently at, with the small for StitchCon that I started last night, I'm currently at 28 cross-stitch whips. Dragonfly will get finished. Obviously, the small for StitchCon should get finished, which would bring me down to like 26. So 5 more would be 31. I'm not stressed yet, but I'm not. multiple projects doesn't stress me out. My only concern about multiple projects is being able to put some decent work into all of them. I had, I think, 22 or 3 at the beginning of the year, because I've cast on several, not cast on, I've cast on from knitting. I've started several cross stitch projects. I also have a couple of knit projects that I do want to get started soon. I need to start, if I'm going to do any stockings for my daughter for this year, which I was going to do for last year and still haven't started, I need to get started on those. And I also want to start a new baby blanket. Another coworker of mine just found out that she's pregnant. She didn't know if she's having a boy or girl yet, though, so I've got I bought yarn the other day to start a new baby blanket, because I just like to have one on the needles for, you know, when I need it, so I'm already at least in progress. The yarn, the colors that I bought could go either way. They're pastel-y kind of baby, but they could go either way. But, and if she finds out she's having a boy, her first one's a boy. If she finds out she's having a boy, I would probably go with the colors I have. If she finds out she's having a girl, which she will be super excited about, I will probably go with something definitely more girly, you know, that's got the more traditional girly, just because I know she will be really excited about a girl. So, anyway, that's about it. Hopefully, I can't tell exactly how long this is because it's now 3 videos. Hopefully, it's not more than an hour. And anyway, I hope to be back not more than a month from now. I will be out of town next weekend. I'm going up to the mountains with a couple of friends. And I don't know. That's about it. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye, y'all.